There's a worldwide virus that's affecting the video game industry, and no, it's not COVID-19. It's modern gaming. There's loot boxes, there's drip-feeding content for live service games, and these botched and unfinished releases that we just need to tolerate. It's kind of sad how this has become the standard now, that this is normal. But nonetheless, for every plague, for every sickness, there is a cure. There is a vaccine, and this vaccine is Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. And in all honesty, what made me the most excited were all of the delays.
They stole it from me, Carmine! They took it! That was today! Today!
A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad. Isn't it funny that he never even said this? But nonetheless, it's true, and the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga seemed to be going through development hell with all the delays. Thankfully, it did not. There was a lot of promise to this game, not just for the Lego games, but modern gaming as a whole. I decided to get it on my PC and my Switch just because when I was younger, I would always get games on both systems like my Xbox 360 and my DS, or my PS4 and my 3DS. So that way, no matter what, I could always experience the game in one way or another. Which sounds dumb because I bought it on my Switch, but nonetheless, I still did it. Plus, I wanted to put this baby to use. I'm really excited in the state that this game came in, especially day and date with the Switch. It's also the first Lego game to release in like 3 years, so there was something to look forward to. A lot of publishers should take note. If you oversaturate the market with your crummy yearly releases, no one's gonna get excited for it. If you take time and build up these franchises, more people will buy it. But then Call of Duty Vanguard was like the #1 selling game of 2021, so what do I know? Kids had their fun already. Now it's real men's turn. And I grew up an avid Star Wars fan. I even have these 2 illustrations by Dave Filoni. If you saw my SpongeBob video last year, you would know that my dad used to work at Nickelodeon. Believe it or not, my dad actually worked on this show. And he worked alongside Dave Filoni. My dad didn't work on Avatar, he worked on SpongeBob. Dave Filoni worked on Avatar, but they were still friends, and my dad knew how much Dave Filoni loved Star Wars and how me and my brother loved Star Wars, so he did these drawings for us. But I should probably get these pictures framed. Oh, give me 1 second. Hey. Much better. But with all of that being said, how is Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga? Is it a stud or is it a dud? Let's find out. I first played the Lego Skywalker Saga on my PC, and this was really jarring. I feel a lot more comfortable with a controller in my hand as opposed to a mouse and keyboard, but I got used to it pretty quickly. This game plays each trilogy pretty differently. The original trilogy plays more like a third-person shooter, the prequel is more like a hack and slash, similar to the complete saga, and the sequels play more like treasure hunters like Tomb Raider or Uncharted. All of the blasters play exactly the same, but thankfully they control and feel great, especially the lightsaber and the hand-to-hand combat. This has had a major revamp with this game. So the enemies in here are actually pretty smart for a TT game. You're not just going to be button mashing the entire time, you gotta string together combos. Because if you don't, they're gonna start to get familiar with your tactics, they're gonna block you or even hit you. TT games really stepped it up here. I mean, who knew that all you had to do to make the combat feel new and refreshing is to just spam those face buttons? But in all honesty, it does keep you pretty engaged, like a real life fight. Trust me, I've been in one. You can't use your right hook over and over again, no matter how effective it is. So it does make sense to use different button combos like this. Never let anyone know what your next step is. But like every Lego game, you do have your clone characters that are only different in cosmetics. Oh, thank God. Regardless, they all have their roles and sections that can only be accessed by Imperials, Rebels, Astromechs, Protocol droids, etc. This is meant to be for the free play mode where you can play as any character you want to. I will say though, Vader feels heavy and I like that a lot. Usually devs make him feel way too light and it always just didn't feel right to me. It's weird, the gameplay is very new and refreshing compared to what TT games have done in the past, but it feels familiar. It's evolved really well. Like there's even a skill tree in this game. And I have to be so honest, I never use the skill tree in games I play. I don't know, I just find it kind of boring at times. I like to make games a lot more challenging for me. The skill tree here though does offer more damage dealt, health, studs, stuff that is expected, but you could also unlock the ability to see where Kyber bricks are too. It's weird because within the skill tree, you have different skill trees with different classes of characters like scoundrels, bounty hunters, Jedi. This is a Lego game, but it's so much more. And here's the part where I remember there's space combat. Being able to fly your favorite ships in Lego Star Wars is magnificent. They control so well whether you're playing on PC or console. It reminds me of something like Star Fox 64, and they even reference Star Fox 2.
This is Red Leader. We won't be going anywhere with those thermal lasers firing down on us. Do your thing, Squadron.
So if you've played any of the LEGO games, you should know what to expect here. A SparkNotes version of the movie with slapstick humor and fun level variety sprinkled through. These are the staples of any LEGO game, and they are here to stick more than those 2x1s that you just can't separate. You'll have better luck splitting atoms than you would these bricks. If you've seen the movies before, you'll know exactly how everything goes down. I did notice though that some of the pacing was weird, like some scenes would just mesh together, and they also don't allow you to play through certain scenes from the movies that I thought would have been amazing to play through. But let's be real, we're not playing these games for the story, so we're not going to count that. The levels here though are incredible. They allow you to take control in so many ways you couldn't before. It feels like you're in these grand set pieces, and it blows my mind that the first time we get a fully fledged free roam Star Wars game is in LEGO form. The levels here shine and are probably my favorite aspect of LEGO Skywalker Saga. I've seen every Star Wars movie countless times. Stay back, you son of a bitch! And it really shows a lot about Traveler's Tales knowing that they've retold these movies and their games so many times and they find new ways of making them feel fresh. It shows the passion that the devs have for Star Wars. I love that you could just pick and choose what trilogy to start off with. I thought that I heard though you could start off whatever movie you wanted to, but I don't think that is the case. I don't know, maybe I misheard something. And after you play through that first movie, you could explore the worlds from that movie, and if you've unlocked other worlds, you could explore those too. Once you're done with all of the movies, you have this entire galaxy to just do shit in. I remember when LEGO Marvel's Avengers came out, they did something similar where you could play any movie in any order, and I found the structure really confusing. I didn't know how to get to the next level or where it would be. The UI and layout was as much of a puzzle as the game itself. I haven't played the game in like 6 years though, so maybe my views will have changed on that. Thankfully here in Skywalker Saga, it's really easy to follow the mission structure. There's also a gaggle of side missions here that you could track and untrack whenever you want. I'd be on a mission, then I would see an NPC needed my help, and I couldn't just let them down. Like, yeah, you want to take down Darth Vader, but what's in that room over there? No matter where you are in the galaxy, from point A to point B, there's something to explore. There's something to interact with. I think this was the first time in a while I didn't go down the beaten path set out for me in an open world game and just explored. Crazy notion, I know. I saw a cool site in Tatooine that looked like it could be explored, and I wanted to see what treasures there were. It was just some Tusken Raiders, but it was still great. Just surveying the land in and of itself is a joy. Who knows, you might find some Jawas enjoying a barbecue. One part that blew my mind was when I was playing through Revenge of the Sith. After executing Order 66, the clones start to shoot and attack you. It's such a small detail, but this small detail makes the galaxy feel real. Also, when you go to space and fly through the galaxy, I thought to myself, damn, it'd be really cool if I could track down some bounties or something. And I shit you not, within the next minute, I had a random encounter with a bounty hunter whose ship I needed to shoot down. Bro, this is awesome! I thought they said you could also fly from planet to planet, but I don't think that's the case either. I was expecting it to be like Black Flag or Wind Waker, where you just set sail in the open sea, thinking I could fly amongst the stars the same way. But that's kind of impossible here. But instead of flying planet to planet, you just go through a hyperspace jump, and there's a lot of content within each planet's orbit too. I think also jumping through lightspeed gives it kind of like a cool canonical reason. I like that a lot. Even in levels, you could find Kyber bricks, which are essentially the gold bricks here. Some can only be accessed by certain characters, so you gotta go back, but finding them regardless makes you feel like you're exploring this incredibly vast galaxy, that you're not the only person to be here. It's better than those areas from Jedi Fallen Order, where you could feel what happened due to the Force. Yeah, because you at least get something really shiny. You can get more Kyber bricks by completing challenges. They all vary level to level, but the most consistent is by collecting as many studs till you get the rank of True Jedi. I love when open world games give you a reason to explore, and doing it in Star Wars feels like a dream. And yes, while we do have Jedi Fallen Order, this is the first time where we could explore Bespin, Coruscant, and I'm pretty sure Tatooine too. And if I'm wrong, let me know down below. God, dude, what a time to be alive. It's a LEGO game, so of course they're gonna look like Mega Blocks. This is the best that these games have ever looked. The blending of the LEGO blocks with the real world meshes together so well. They've done it. Those bastards did it. They made the most immersive galaxy of any Star Wars game. One of the first things you might notice is the camera perspective change. TT Games puts the camera directly behind you, and I'm a little mixed on it. It makes this feel like a more legit gaming experience, but sometimes it does get into some weird angles, so maybe a few times if it was fixed, I think it would have been a lot better. All the worlds are beyond beautiful to look at. The sand dunes of Tatooine, the city lights in Coruscant, the The desolate serenity of Octu waves make you feel like you're stepping into the world of Star Wars. I'll never forget the first time I was in Galaxy's Edge. I was so excited. I raced there and I started tearing up, if I'm being totally honest. And I remember soaking in that feeling because I knew I would never feel that way again. And because of LEGO Star Wars, I was wrong. But what makes Star Wars truly feel like Star Wars is the audio design. The music, the ships flying, the blaster sounds, the lightsabers whooshing, it's all perfect here. Of course, the sound effects and the music here are from the source material. I'm pretty sure not doing that is a war crime. All the voice acting here is great too. Of course, classics like James Arnold Taylor and Matt Lanter as Daddy Wan Kenobi and Anakin, and the rest of the cast here fits perfectly to replace their movie counterparts. But if you're an OG like me, you remember a time when there wasn't voice acting in these games. If you missed that, the devs actually made a mode where you could just go back to the mumbling. But for that came a sacrifice. RIP character customization. You will be missed. I gotta be totally honest though, I'm kind of fine with it. I can't remember the last time I actually enjoyed a character customization. Anytime I would use it, it was just out of like, oh, it's in the game, I gotta get my money's worth, so I just kind of did it. And it's also just really impressive how the characters interact with the environment. Like when you walk through mud, sand,
I don't like sand.
or snow, they're gonna get into the crevices of all the LEGO characters. I'm so excited about this. Hey dude, look at how the lightsabers reflect off the characters. It looks so good. But the NPCs here also act like they're in Star Wars. If you're an Imperial, the Stormtroopers aren't gonna bother you. If you're Mando, the Tusken Raiders are gonna be nice to you. And when you shoot down an enemy's cover, they actually start to rebuild it back. That's awesome, dude. On my PC, I played this at 1080p, then 1200p because full settings was just too damn demanding for little old Holga here. Even still though, with some drops in frame rate, everything was beautiful to look at. Of course, the indoor segments are gonna run and look better than when you're in the open world, but regardless, I never felt like it was at any cost. So this is going to be the shortest bit here, but my overall impressions of how LEGO Skywalker Saga plays on Switch far exceeded my expectations. I actually did stream Phantom Menace. If you want to see more of that, let me know down below. Who knows, some funny stuff may probably happen. Alright, so she's got a gun. Ah! Jesus Christ! Sorry, stream. My mom just scared the shit out of me. It looks great and it runs well. I was expecting it to be similar to how LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 is on Switch, but it's so much better. That is expected as it's a newer game, but it doesn't feel like you're getting gypped like other games on the 8th or 9th gen compared to Switch. Sometimes the frame rate will chug a little bit, and on the right and bottom side of the screen, some tan line appears out of nowhere. I don't really know why. The draw distance is kind of piss poor and loading screens are a little long, but that's about it really. A video game should always make you feel something. Challenge, fun, or excitement. While not challenging, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is incredibly fun and exciting. As a pretty big Star Wars fan already, this became one of my most anticipated games and it delivered. The levels are fun to explore and play through. The combat and puzzles, while repetitive, are more refined here than ever, and this is just a delight to look at. And I'm not even kidding when I say this. This is probably one of my favorite games I've ever played. One thing I was worried about slightly was that it feels just like any other LEGO game, but it's not. It's not a LEGO game with Star Wars. It's a Star Wars game with Legos. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga proves that devs are safe from the effects of modern gaming. It launched in an excellent state. It doesn't have any stupidly unnecessary content you gotta buy. There's a character pack, but those characters aren't in the mainline movie, so they just kind of added it on as what, you know, a DLC add-on should be. And the game actually came with content. If there was the one thing that I would change for this game, I wish that they had cloud save so that way I could just switch off from my PC to my Switch, which is kind of pointless, because that's what a Switch should do. But I like replaying games, and this is going to be a game I'm going to replay a lot. You can easily get lost in the galaxy here, and how I felt about LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is how Vader felt about Luke when they first dueled.
Impressive. Most impressive.
Anyway, dudes and dudettes, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to click that like and subscribe button, and let me know down in the comment section below, who's your favorite Star Wars character? Alright, I'm gonna go trilogy wise because I don't really have a set specific character. From the prequels, Jango Fett. Easy. I just thought he was always badass. The original trilogy, probably Darth Vader or Han Solo. I don't know, that's hard, man. That one's hard. But for the sequels, Kylo Ren. I don't know, I always like Kylo Ren. Whatever yours are, let me know down below. Anyway, dudes and dudettes, you're never too old or too cool for video games. Major Pineapple out.